Hey, what's up, everybody? It's KyFy. I'm glad to be here. You know, it's going to be a good one. We got a good reading for Virgo today. And I can barely wait to start, so I'm going to just start now. I hope you've been having a good time. I hope this week has been good to you. I hope the rain didn't catch you too good. But we made it through. You're here today, and I got a message for you. So let's get started. So a brief explanation about what's going to happen. If you've been with me before, thank you for coming back. Like this video, share it with your favorite reader, and subscribe to the channel. I'm sure that you're gonna get a good message today. I got a couple of downloads to share with you, but let's move on. So a bit of an explanation about what we're gonna read here today. If you've been following me, you've been seeing my readings before, you can check it out. This is the Zin-Finity Board, and it's my baby, so it's a one-of-a-kind creation. It's going to be for the tarot community. I have an app coming out, and basically with your support is going to be here sooner, so look forward to that. The Zin-Finity Board is a way, I created a way to read the cards etherically. And what does that mean? You know, you hold that picture in your mind. So this is your mind, and we're going to create that picture, but using the cards to translate what is going wrong with your mind. So as you already know, you have the 7 chakras, you have the crown energy, then you have the third eye, which is right here, but represented by Bina and Hokma, right? Then you have, let me put it this way, then you have the ether, which is Akasha, and that is these three portions right here, Da'at, Gebuda, and Chesed. Then from there, it goes to the heart chakra, right? Then the solar plexus, the sacral, and then the root chakra. And it continues on in a cycle, you can say. But basically, this is an energetic grid. So the lines that you see here connect to the cards that I'm going to put down, and it's going to tell a different story. So what story you're going to hear today? Whole new different style of reading, and it's going to blow everybody's mind in the industry. So let's go. Moving on from there, we have the body, the spirit, the mind, and the soul, which is this triangle right here. But it's emanation. So it's emanation, creation, formation, and manifestation. So we got all the points here. There are 10 points of I. So let me get those real quick for you. This is the place of I am. So we're going to get to the basic expression of I am when it comes up to you. So I am what? Are you safe? Are you secure? Do you have I am at peace? Like, you can keep going on with this imagination. So whatever you are right now, just hold that in your mind, and we're going to move on. Next is I feel, which is the sacral chakra, right? Then is I act, which is the solar plexus. It has to do with rhythm, right? Then it's I love, which is naturally the heart, right? Then you go to I know, which is the throat chakra, and that is da'at, basically. When it gets to the right side, you see I desire, and the left side is I will. So these are key points in basically your overall growth. What's blocking you? What's helping you? So that's what I'm going to get right now. But the last two are the dark and the light, which is I want and I need. So want and need is different from desire and will, and we're going to get to that later. But now that you got the brief explanation, we're going to get to it. I'm going to shuffle and deal some of these cards, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so basically what we're going to do first is go through the 1 through 10. The 10 eyes that I spoke about before, it starts from 0 through 9 and then goes back to 0, but it's 10 of them. So let's get started. So basically we're going to get started from 0 through 9, right? And those are the eyes that I mentioned before. So we're going to start with 0, which is I know. Now, can't even pick the card up. 7 of Swords. So you know that basic struggles and it requires some struggle to get where you want to go. So you already know this. But you also know that it's gonna help if you can let go of some of the things that you think you need to take with you. So that's what you know already. It's just a little bit, but let's keep going. That was 0. Now it's 1. This is your essential nature. 0 is about your aspiration, basically where you want to go. And as you can see, it's pointed to like this one focal point. So you're after a certain amount of power, and you know what it takes to get there. So that's where your aspiration lies. But this spot right here is what crowns the reading naturally, and this is your essential nature, which is the 7 of Wands. So 7 is 7. We already starting crazy. So we already know what this means. Not only do you know it's going to take a lot of work, but you got what it takes, and that's in your nature. So it matches evenly. So you're in line with what you want to do. So if people are around you, or you keep going through your feed and getting confused and things like that, or you can't sleep at night because you don't know if you're doing the right thing, this is the message that says you are doing the right thing. So don't worry about it no more. I know that's fake reassuring because I'm a reader, and we could only resonate but so much. But it's up to you to put action towards it. Now that brings me to one of the first messages is the message is the shell of the heart, and that was going to be the title of the reading, but I decided not to do that anymore. I decided to think about it later on. To give spirit the lead, in a sense, right? So moving on from there, you have 0, 1. That was the crown chakra. That was Da'at, right? The beginning and the end. Next up is the third eye, which is, we're on the light side is the Wheel of Fortune. On the dark side, you have the Emperor. Now, your essential nature is basically your galactic tag, like who you're going to be regardless of anything. It's like your baseline, your base point, the core of yourself, right? No, the core of your soul, I should say. The identity of your soul is better. But yeah, going with, this is the area of I want. So I want fortune, or at least fortunate opportunities. You want your ships to come in. You would like to see your work paying off. Like you would like to see it paying off. And that's amazing. But we're going to understand what this is in a second. But let's move on to what you need. In order to get this, you need to naturally sit in your power. And that's your nature, and it lines up. So far so good. Let's keep going to 4 and 5, which is basically desire and will, which finishes up the Akasha, right? Which is the ether, the throat chakra, right? And so what I want to just clip in real quick is the attributes of Virgo. I forgot to do it before, but we're gonna do it a little bit right now. You have 5 attributes as a Virgo, and it's basically your power points. So look at it. First is the house. The second is the fuel. The third is the focus. The fourth is your power, and the last is your tool. So these are the things, your facilities that you use in order to get your abundance to transcend and to grow in a sense like that. So the house for you is the house of health. This is something that you probably know by now if you've been studying yourself, right? Study to show thyself approved, right? learn more about yourself. You get to use your own facility better, right? The second is the fuel, which is glory. Now, this is the head of the Sephiroth. The Sephiroth is hold, right? And that's a glory. So the house and the house and the fuel is health and glory. So understand it like this. If your house needed gas, glory is that gas for you in your house, which is health. So the more glorious of an emotion that you can feel, the more glory that you attain, right? It directly coincides with the health of your body and of your mind and spirit. So that kind of thing. Moving on, we have the focus, which is the magician. Now the magician came out. So what does that mean? You have the focus and the power. Let me do it at the same time. The power is the hermit card. That's your card right here. So focus and power, my best analogy, my favorite analogy is archery. You have the bow and the string. You pull it, right? The string is the power, but the bow is the focus. And when you use those hand in hand, you let go and hit your points, hit your targets, hit your goals. And you won't be blocked by anything. It'll just be up to you at that point, you know. So if you get that analogy, next is the tool. So I use the bow, right? But your tool can be, your tool is your body. Your first tool is your body, mind, soul, and spirit. Those are the things that you use. But after that, you have the manifestations that are around you, and your knowledge and your skills and things like that. Those are tools. So your tool goes with the function of will. Now, will is here. So your tool and your focus is aligned. So you have the right equipment to get the job done perfectly, right? We're going to go into affinities a little bit later because some things are off, but I'm going to keep going. So when it comes up to what you love, it's the Page of Pentacles. Now this is off. I'm going to just put it this way because this is supposed to be air, right? And what you act and how you act, right? Your rhythm, your patterns is the Five of Wands, which is on suit, right? Because it's the fire area, solar plexus. You understand? Next is how you feel, which is the Hanged Man, and that is a water card, right? Yeah, that's a water card. Yeah, that's a water card. And the Hanged Man is connected from the solar plexus to your desire. So we got a lot of synchronicities happening right now, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get to the description, but I know you understand the setting right now. What I'm doing right now is building in your mind the stage of what your spirit sees, what your soul operates on. That's the stage that we're defining right now. So let's keep going. Next is I am. So I am the Four of Cups. Understand that these places of I's are all personalities within your mind, and they operate together, you know, through balance and everything to get things done, to get what you want done. Well, you know, you understand your mind, but this is how it works. Yeah, the Four of Cups is out of affinity. Now, let me explain affinity real quick. You have earth, water, fire, air, and that means that air and water allows air and water to be in this location, and that's fine, that's perfect right here. And fire and earth allows fire and earth to be in this location, which is not fine. This is an air card. This is a magician. So your tool is here, but it's in the place of your will. Why is that? It should be on this side because it's something in your mind. It's something that you create. It's something that you emanate. It's something that comes directly out of like your creation, directly out of what God has for you. So if you're using somebody else's tools, somebody else's methods, those methods are not right for you. But you're still in the right path. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a fire card, and that is in affinity, right? The Emperor is also a fire card, and this is out of affinity. It has to be water or air on this side. So I hope you can understand that. So judging from this, let's keep going. The Seven of Wands is in affinity because this is the place of the crown. The crown is where emanation happened, right? and that is fire energy, or soul fire, you want to call it. As I said before, the Five of Wands is good. Page of Pentacles is off because it's an Earth card. And we can move on to the Oracle cards, right? Now, the Oracle cards describe something completely different. Now, this is your path, and this is your will. So this is what you do to get to where you're going to go, or how you're going to get there, the path, right? The correct way. But in order to do that, you need the power of your mind, which is represented by the jealousy card right now. A jealous mind. And this is why you're not using your own tools, because you're looking at somebody else's blessings. Don't look at anybody else's blessings. You have to understand that everything is a show. Everybody's life is a show in front of you, but you have your own play, right? You have your own story, and everybody else has their own story. They have their own tools, but we all use the same thing. We all play these same stories on this one place, right? That's how it operates. I hope you can understand that. I was kind of a little choppy, but yeah. But jealousy is on the mind. So either you have to attain the spirit of jealousy, or tame it, or well, I think it's taming it, because I don't know how jealousy will help you. At least you'll be watching over what people can do, and you can change it up so that you're free to do that, right? Moving on. I don't know why I did that one first, but well, let me explain magic right here. Magic is in the area of spirit. So same goes for this side, but it's a little bit different. This is the spiritual energy required in order to manifest. So it goes down this way and it goes up this way, right? So the spiritual energy required to manifest is a little bit out of whack, but it's a good card. So it's like you're standing in your power in the wrong place. Just shift. It only requires a little bit of a shift, right? Basically, your spirit has to be at a certain level, which is defined by this area, right? In order to manifest. So you have to be on level 10 in order to manifest this type of blessing. So understand that. And what it requires for you to learn within your spirit is a sense of magic. So a sense of wonder, a sense of, you know what, I can either make it happen, or God is going to help me along the way, and I'm just going to see things. I know I'm going to be blessed. There's a little bit of magic going on with that, because you're giving God the opportunity to bless you, because within your actions, you get blessings. Within your thoughts, you gain spiritual level. Now, what is the difference between prayer and what is it? Let me get it. Hold on, let me see. I forgot. What is the difference between prayer and action? Now, I had to look up something. This is another part of the download. So, I'm a sci-fi reader, right? I'm also a nerd with the sciences. I never even knew it until I got into it, right? So I found out about theurgy. And what is theurgy? It's one of the sacred sciences that's like very tagged with all these spiritual, things and everything. But it was always on the side of my, not always, but when I heard about it the first time, I wrote it down, just put it to the side because I didn't know nothing about it, right? When I came back to it, this is what it said to me. Now look at this. This is why it all tagged together. Before I even started this reading, it's late right now. It's the next day, right? It's the next day right now. And I just had to do this reading. Theurgy is a type of magic. Right? So, why is God pointing this out to you? We're going to find out. I think I already know, but theurgy is a type of magic. It consists of a set of magical practices performed to evoke beneficent spirits in order to see them or know them in order to influence them, for instance, by forcing them to animate a statue, which is crazy. We got a whole bunch of statues all over the place. Idols, right? So what is that? Good and bad ones, whatever. To inhabit a human being, you know how people can look possessed, be possessed, act possessed, and all that. Such as the medium. So you understand where all these practices come from, and these words and these tags come from. Or to disclose mysteries. So that's what theurgy is. It's a type of magic. Now, here's the second thing that I just ran into because I was looking it up. I know this is a sidebar, but it's a very important one because prayer and action. It's crazy. Are you praying the right prayer in the right energy? So this is also on theurgy, right? When prayer becomes dominating and manipulative, it is in its intent, it becomes magic. When prayer becomes dominating and manipulative in its intent, it becomes magic. So it becomes magic. What kind of magic? Force. God just said to me that magic is force. It's a type of force anyway. But what forces are you using? So let me continue reading it. With words and songs, humans, it says humans, thus believe that they can act, conjure, and threaten the sacred or spiritual power, supernatural powers. Imprecation and incantation become in effect oral talismans or charms. The effectiveness of such magical prayer is believed to depend, right? So your prayer, let's just say it's a good one. Let's just stick with the good right now. You've been praying good prayers from good places in your heart, right? Wishing good things upon your life, right? Now, when you pray, you are opening channels. You are allowing something to interfere. Now, if you aren't spiritually ready for the thing that you're asking for, you're going to get the wrong spirit to come and help you out. Now, these things plague your mind. And let me move on. But like, your prayer can be a kind of an affirmation, right? You pray a certain prayer every week, every day. And I wish for $1 million, and I wish for this, I wish for that, I wish for this person to leave me alone, I wish for this person to come towards me, right? I wish for these opportunities to come towards me right now. I don't want to do this no more. I wish this is away from me. You understand what you wish for. But in order to get it, it can happen in two ways, the good way or the bad way. Which way you want to go with it. But you're always going to get to your destination. But the bad way leaves you in a certain amount of cycles and leaves you in a continuum, right? But if you believe in reincarnation, we have multiple opportunities to get it right. So if you don't feel like this is your first time here, it's not. It said oral talismans. I know talismans from every anime that I watched. Talisman, you put it on something, it blocks the energy from coming out. It protects it. It does so many things. It amplifies it. So these prayers, these magical thoughts that you're having in your head are amplifying negative or positive things to come towards you. That's what you need to get out of it. These prayers are so important. What are you praying for? But I gotta move on. Now, this is the crazy part. And you've been warned, right? Let me just say it. Y'all know about the demiurge, right? I talked about it before. So God played a little word game with me. It said demiurge and theurgia. So I was like, what? I said demiurgia. And that was an actual thing. So I looked it up, demiurgia, right? And it had to do with this. Let me get it for you. What is the demiurge? I thought the demiurge was an energy that comes from you. I'm not even far off though. But I thought it was an energy that comes from you that like to make you do bad things or to make you do bad things. That kind of thing. Lead you towards the wrong way of doing things. But it said the demiurge is a heavenly being subordinate to the supreme being that is considered to be the controller of the material world and antagonistic to all that is purely spiritual. So it's a heavenly being, the demiurge, right? So if you think demi, you think demon. So it's a heavenly demon or being, right? Now let me go to the other thing that I saw. So basically what they were saying about theology and demiurgy is hand in hand. Theology is more on the good side. Demiurgy is invoking the negative things. So be careful how you do it. I found out some of the names of the demiurge. So the demiurge is a malevolent being, right? But it had another name. It was either Dikaios or Dikaios. It was weird. I said, okay, so the demiurge is in charge of chaos, and this is why we go through so many bad things, but it's a piece of God. So why is it here? To teach us, right? We come here eternally. The other name for it is agathos, and it reminded me of agape love. I don't even know why. These words, this wordplay was ridiculous. And yeah. Let's move on from there. So, on the tree of life, you have Ein, Sof, and Or. Ein, Sof, Or, right? And Ein, because this consists of everything within this triangle. Sof is everything, well, spirit, body, mind, and soul, right? That's Sophia, right? And then Or has to do what we're going to do next, which is when we're going to clarify this energy. Because after you fix these energies that are misaligned right now, what happens is the energy can pass. And when the energy passes, you can use it for creation and manifestation. So, let's get it. Starting off with the Seven of Wands, starting off with the Seven of Swords is, so, this is the place of I know. So what do you know? The beginning and the end of all things. You start where you end off. It's just like, it's weird how it works. But yeah, deception, trickery, tactics, and strategy. So you know you need a certain amount of tactics. You know you need to move a certain kind of way. You know you need to maneuver around obstacles. This is what you know. This is what you're after, because it keeps hitting you, right? It keeps affecting you. Maybe you can control it. This is about control of the narrative, the control of where you see things going. Maybe you have a lot of people wishing on your life, you know. Maybe you have a lot of people saying that you need to be doing a certain thing, thinking that they know better. But this jealousy right here is in the mind, which says that you're doing this willingly, or they're tricking you to think it, right? Making you jealous, giving them that succubus energy that they need just to live. You wishing that you was them is giving them the energy to feel above you. It's crazy. Let that go. You guys are in different lanes, completely different lanes. Nobody can really affect the other than the outside world affecting it. But yeah, I hope you understand that, because that was a little confusing. Alright, now to your essential nature, which is IB, right? I forgot to tell you this one. Yeah, so the essential nature is IB, your being, right? Seven of Wands. Perseverance, taking defense, maintaining control. I literally just mentioned control, right? And you can see this guy, he's in charge. Seven of Wands. It's crazy because what you think you can handle, you can and you will. So as long as you think that you can handle it, you will. It's a definite. That's what God is trying to tell you right now. It's a definite. Yeah. So that's your nature. Your will to control it. It's only a matter of time before you gained enough knowledge in whatever you were stuck in, before you understood what the enemy was doing. Yeah. Alright, that was the crown chakra. Now we're moving on to the third eye. And we're going to start off with the path, or what you want, right? So what you want is the Wheel of Fortune. You want change, cycles, and inevitable fate. So what God has been telling me, what God has been showing me is that let's just say that everything is 100%. In order to get something new, you have to give something up. It can either be taken from you, or you can give it, right? When you give it, it comes back to you with like greater force. When it's taken from you, it also comes back to you with greater force because God still got it for you. So whichever way you choose, it's just a different method in getting the same blessing, right? It's kind of self-explanatory. When you want opportunities, they will be shown to you when you're ready for it. Moving on to the Emperor, which is misaligned, is so basically it's off suit, and he's sitting over here lazy. So you're lazy for some reason. Let's get it. So the Emperor is the major arcana. Authority, structure, control, and fatherhood. See, fatherhood can't be on this side because this is divine feminine nature. This is Vina, right? Can't be on this side. So you're being masculine in a place of feminine. Now, what does that mean? You're not nurturing. You're trying to build on yourself only. You're trying to build on the outside instead of nurturing from the inside and growing that way. The inside works a lot better than you think it does, because you can brush your hair, you can wash your hair, but if you eat better, your hair will grow better, right? It just works different ways. Which one do you want to depend on? Your body is a system. Your mind is a system. Okay, so the Emperor, we're gonna fix this right now. So let's get these cards. I'll get you in 1 second. Okay. Barely even. Wow. So what we're doing right now is for the aura, or the ore. And the Wheel of Fortune came out, but it's not the right card to have over there because it's the fire. So it needs to be wind or water. I mean, wind, air or water, right? Let's get it. Air. Now, this is dealing with the issues. This is understanding the issues to move on from it. And that's what requires, that's what your magic is here for. So we're going to understand that right now. Let's get what these cards mean in order. So it's a story that plays. As I said before in my previous readings, these are all perspectives in God's mind, your mind, right? As above, so below. And these cards now play roles. So these are active people, right? So instead of the hangman card, it's now a hangman, the embodiment of the hangman playing this role. So in this side, in this portion right here, we had 3 people, and when it got to the third person, it made it all better. You know, it aligned itself. It was now on suit. So we started with the Emperor, and now we're going into the Wheel of Fortune, which is basically your path. Stick to what you know is right for you. That's basically what that means. I don't even need to read it anymore. But let's go to the 9. I said the 10. But the 9 of Swords, right? Let's get it. Alright, so anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. Why is this in the right place? Because when you decide to deal with it, when you decide to look at it, even though this person has his hands over his eyes, doesn't even want to look at the situation, right? But when you decide to, it's up to you. When you decide to, you're going to learn the magic that you have at your disposal in order to get to the point where you have the 10 of Swords, which completes it all. And after that, it's only flow from there, I should say. Because that's the max that can be on this, or not the max, but that's a very high number that can be on this side. It's basically just a completion of a mental process that's over here. So it's either the mental process or the emotional process that can be on this side. It's all emotions after this, but emotions is not emotions that you think it is. It's energy for the will. That's what emotions for. It's energy in motion for what you want to do, what you will to do, what you will do. You have the energy to do. So, yeah. Moving on, we have the end of the throat chakra, which is Chesed and Gabuda, right? Will and desire. So the Magician, which is your focus, is in the wrong area because it's supposed to be in the nurturing side, but it's not. It's not nurturing. It's in the wrong place. So this is an idea, or your magic, the magician using this magic. It should be over here, definitely, right? So why is it not? You think that you can just wish these things here. It requires an amount of work. So thoughts and or prayers and actions, as I said before, which ones are you doing? Sometimes, praying is obsolete, because when you find out that actions speak louder than words, dead serious with the universe, right? Forget people. People don't respect your actions. The universe does. 100% whole body, hard body. They will recognize, the universe will recognize everything that you're doing and give you an equal blessing or a greater blessing for it, right? So this is giving your ideas to other people, or people using you to bounce things off of, and it's only benefiting them because it's your natural gift to do it for yourself, right? Learn how to fend these people off, and you'll nurture yourself instead of using that. So it's like an open channel to your energy, to your blessing. You want to close that and manage it. You want to control who has access to that creative part of you. Yeah. Let's do the magician first. It says willpower, creation, mastery, and adaptation. Now, this is not work. This is not work in the physical world. This is work in the mental world. And this is why it won't manifest anything but an idea for somebody else. Fuel for somebody else. Being a muse for somebody. Right? That's the most it would do on this side. On this side is for you, and you manifest better things. On this side is for other people. It's for the ego. You think you winning by doing this stuff. It's only you this is your power. So when you decide to use it for yourself, it's for you. But when you give it to the people that are around you, you can't use the tools that God gave you to get where you want to go. You just be stuck in the same place and wondering why, but feeling good about it. And that's the worst part. Like, I feel good about what I'm doing, but I'm not getting where I'm going, where I want to go. That's terrible. That's strange. So let's fix the magician real quick. Shuffle. The magician. Okay. That's enough. Oh, wow. The Emperor came out. After you fixed it, you shifted positions. You shifted the way you were thinking. And you started to use it for yourself. So now the Emperor's on this side and it's fire. So that completes this run. So now your will is set. And we already know what the Emperor is. And that's about, the tactics, right? No, authority, structure, control, and fatherhood. So now your divine masculine is in the right area. It's in the place where you expand, right? So now your expansion is set. I said all of that for God to confirm what I was saying. That's crazy. Authority, structure, and control. That's crazy. So now for what you desire, right? Now that you can do whatever you need, what do you desire truly? If this is the Ten of Swords, and that means the completion of a mental phase. Something was bugging you, and you finally got an answer, or at least something that would lead you to an answer, but you know it is, and now you have something to focus on. That's what this means, right? It's the focus. You gotta sit down and look around you. You are in a place of observance, right? So, Ten of Swords. It says failure, collapse, and defeat. It says failure, collapse, and defeat. Now, how does this help you? sometimes your fight is within your ego, and your ego is the head of the fantasy. Now, when that fight is defeated, when you lose that war with your ego against your spirit, you can only now obey the spirit. You're like a POW, a prisoner for yourself. Now that you have nothing else to do, you're a prisoner for yourself. And what does that mean? Let's find out. But this is the line though. So even though that you've been through a lot, it's all going to be worth it soon. Moving on from there, we have the Page of Pentacles. And this is offsuit, right? So let's get what the Page of Pentacles mean real quick. So, it's a good card. Ambition, desire, and diligence. Now, this is in a place where you're supposed to see the big picture and create a new method to do it. So this is the place of polarity. Now, can you squeeze a rock? Like how should I put this? When you think about Earth in general, when you think about digging into the ground, going all the way down into the Earth, you understand that there's an enormous amount of pressure down there that create different types of jewels and gems and elements and things like that, metals, those things. The further you get down, the better the quality and the more rare it is. So that's with compression. This is in a place where the mental or the elemental energy gets, or not or the elemental, where the mental energy gets formed. And air and earth is opposite, and they cancel each other out. So you are diligent, you were, because now you're taking control, you have that authority now, or at least a little tidbit of it, right? We're gonna understand how this energy changes, but watch when I say it's gonna be like well, I don't know what it's gonna be. Let's just see. Because I just remembered something. I never showed you what emanation was, which is the new moon and the body. It's just a full moon. Oh man. Alright. Okay, a little sidebar before I finish that. So, let's do it this way. Let's start off with emanation, get the new moon. What does it mean? These are the oracle cards. The oracles deal with the spirits. It's literally how it sounds and how it operates. So, new moon. This is in your emanation, what comes out of you. The reason why people wanted to control you, or the reason why you're amused. Because this new moon energy comes out. And it has to do with a new beginning, a fresh start, an auspicious time to start new projects. Drawing this card invites you to begin again. Meditate on this at the new moon to bring new energy into your life. Write a list of intentions, dreams, goals, and wishes to support new direction and invite in inspiration. So the inviting in part, that is, okay, when you journal, when you write things down, I want to be a doctor. This is what I need to do to be a doctor. You get to form, right? These are your writings, your words, your polarity. Making it make sense. You form it, you journal it down. But you were doing that for other people. You were doing that for other people's benefit, right? Just something that just wasn't yours. It could have been an addiction. You were doing it for an addiction. You never know. Well, you know, but you know, it's up to you to determine that. So this new moon energy in your emanation is what they were after, but now you have control of it. So let's see what the body has to say. Full moon, right? This is nuts. A ceremony, culmination, or completion of a cycle in time. There is a magic here. The full moon has the power to magnify your dreams. It can also take away anything not in alignment with them. Be open to the magic and wonders of all things. Meditate or perform a ritual on the full moon to draw more of her powerful, feminine, receptive energy into your life. Projects and rituals, right? Rituals is the prayer, affirmations. Projects is what you're doing at the moment to find out new things to experiment with, right? But this magic word is coming out. And remember, it can be very negative, so you got to be careful. Try to be ready. Try to ask for the blessings that you can actually attain and hold and manage. Pray for the things that you can manage and not the things that you're not ready for. Because you know that you're not ready for it. It's just like an ego thing. I fantasize being in this position. But the dream is being able to fill those shoes. So yeah. The ego is the head of fantasy. The spirit is the head of dreams. You come here to the dream world. So which one do you think has more power? Which one do you think will eventually be known by you? Which one do you think will eventually hold more truth? Which one do you think that you would get the most blessings out of? Which one do you think will give you peace? It's not your fantasy. Your fantasy, yeah. The devil will give you your fantasy. It's only to push you further down into the deep, right? So if people are offering you fantasies, be careful, because it's not always as good as it seems. Yeah. So let's read magic. This is for the spirit. Naturally, you are a magical being. It's time to stop hiding the awe-inspiring abilities that you have to connect to the divine. Drawing the pinnacle invites you to connect with your personal magic on a deeper level at this time. Working with the phases of the moon in ritual with herbs, candles, crystals, and spell work are some ways we can connect to our magic on the physical plane to the etherical realms. Find what suits you best with love, with harm to none. Wow. It said this is a Wiccan symbol amulet or talisman. Talisman word, right? So the talisman came out already. It was in your spirit. Maybe you know more about talismans than me, and this is resonated with you a lot. If it is, and you find this content inspiring, like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel. We're gonna get more content like this. Every one of my readings are timeless, and eventually you're gonna have the app with you on your phone, and we can do this in a better way, and it's gonna be beautiful, pretty, amazing, and transformative. So more power to that drive. But let me continue. So let's read for jealousy real quick. The symbol is the evil eye. Envy, jealousy, and bad vibes. This card comes as a warning that all is not as it seems, or maybe it is. There may be some jealousy being presented or projected at you at this time. Fear not, this is a warning. Fear not, this warning is here to provide you with enough distance to take the necessary action to protect your heart. This is your heart, and you weren't able to protect it other than to cover it up. So the only way you were able to control it was to block it. We're going to fix this soon. What did you do, or what can you do to unblock this area? This is where your beauty lies. You're doing a whole bunch of things that's giving you this fantasy beauty, this fake love, this fake everything. But when your heart is unblocked, you'll understand that true beauty is completely different. You'll never go back, right? Sometimes the jealousy is within you. This is a powerful time to check in and see where you may be feeling inadequate or as if you're missing something. Yeah. So yeah, we understand jealousy. So we don't have to really say much about that anymore. So that's it for that. But I really had to explain that. So fixing your inadequacies allows this fortune to take place, and it's fortunate in your path because it's all things aligned for you. Now you're the main character in your life instead of other people being the main characters. They're supporting actors now. They're supporting roles in their own story. It has nothing to do with you. But you know, we come here to love and commune. So it's just fun. We're not alone here. Or you need to know that you're not alone in this mission. Regardless if you think that the people around you cannot help you or won't help you, or if you think that the universe don't have your back. The universe does. You're still here. You're still breathing. There's a reason. There's something for you to do. There's love that you can spread. There's love that you can share. Alright, so let's fix the Page of Pentacles, which is the heart chakra, or that love talk, but let's get it. Okay. You double down on defending yourself because you've been through something that you swore you wouldn't go through again. So this is like dog chasing his tail, or dog going back to the vomit, whatever that saying is. That's crazy because sometimes you need to just make sure that it wasn't the right way. Sometimes you need to make sure that's not the right person. Because how can you look at God after you give it up and say, I had it? How can you look at God? You can't. There's so much shame involved in that, and guilt and grief. Because this is the place of grief. This is the area of grief. So you are grieving, or you need to grieve. There's phases in grief. So which phase are you on in that particular, well, whatever's going on right now? Which phase are you on? Because if you lost somebody, not if they transition, right? Or maybe, of course, that can happen too. But if you lost something or somebody recently to like a breakup or something like that, or like you lost your car because you got that final ticket, that last time you got that last ticket, and that was the last one that broke everything. The straw that broke the camel's back, right? Whatever the saying is, right? I think I said it right. Well, all these sayings and like coming up, these quotes. What about quotes? So let's keep going. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the Death card. And the Death card is a water card, so that's not right. In these areas in the box, it has to be aligned with the element only. There's no exceptions. But you get 6 tries to get it done. And if it doesn't get done in the 6th try, you understand that this is the main focus, or these are one of the main focuses. So let's just keep going. Well, 2 cards came up, so let's see. The Moon and the 5 of Cups. So you've been revealed what has been going on, what's been blocking you. You've been shown basically everything you've been diligent about, everything that you've been working for. Not everything, but most of the things. The main goals that you had weren't going to benefit you. Finally. So let's see what comes up next. Uh-oh. Page of Wands. Alright. So that was the last card on that run, and it was not complete. So this is your main focus. The things that you find beautiful. You need to start baby steps. What are the little things that you can do? Maybe you can go get a massage. That's beautiful. Your body feels beautiful. Maybe you can eat something really good that gives you health benefits. Maybe you can try that fast that one time that makes your body thank you and you'll feel it. Maybe you can do, you see all of these little beautiful things you can kick. Okay. This is the law of polarity. But above that is care, and it goes roundabout. If you've been following me, I don't see love as love anymore. Love is movement, what you move for. But care is the focus on what you're moving for. So what you care for is what you move towards. Love is the energy that gets you there. So love is the fuel for movement. Alright, that did not finish, but let's see what the Page of Wands has to say. Because that was kind of self-explanatory with that. Nope, I'm not going to do that. Let's read it. Death to the Moon, to the Five of Cups, to the Page of Wands. Let's see. So, death is the end of a cycle, change, and metamorphosis. Naturally, this is a rebirth moment, right? This is the moment that you decided to say, enough is enough. And the reason why death is here, I call it the undead skeleton warrior. Now, what is the difference between an undead warrior and an alive warrior? An alive warrior can get a cut, and it'll hurt. An undead warrior is not going to get affected by that. So now you resort back to your base settings. That's what this is. You're resorting back to your base settings because that's something that's unaffected. Your soul is unaffected by everything that's happening out here, right? We are eternal beings. I keep saying this. So your soul is unaffected, and your soul knows why you're here. You know why you came here. You even chose your parents. You chose most of the things around here before you came here. So why are you going through some of these things? You came here to learn. So moving on from there is the Moon. So unconscious illusions, it's unconscious, illusions, intuition, and fantasy. You recognize what your fantasy is, and now you're gonna align it with your dream. So instead of fantasizing so hard, you practically fantasize, and that's a better way to go about it because you don't disappoint yourself, or you don't give in to anybody else and their methods to get to that fantasy. You know, some things are just not for you, and they'll just lead you in the wrong way. Moving on to Five of Cups. Loss, grief, and disappointment. We kind of already went through that. And when you lose something, right? Remember how I just said? That's what it was. I just mentioned that when you want God to work for you, when you want the universe to work in your favor, you have 100% of everything around you. But you have to give up some things, or some things are taken from you. Like now you go to a 70, and the universe says, okay, good. Now there's 30% of space for me to do some magic with, right? Or it was taken from you, and now the universe says, well, now that we did that, now that I put you through that, I created space for you. So I want you to just sit here and observe what's about to happen. So God doesn't want you to move so fast right now, because if you move too fast, you know when you move really fast in a car, it gets blurred vision. And you already don't want to see what happened before. You don't even want to think about it. So if you move too fast, you're just going into the same dog going back to his vomit. Same scenario. So moving on, Page of Wands. So Page of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Crazy, right? There's a lot of doubling back and a lot of shifting instead of so much work. It's more like shifting. Maybe you shifted positions. So this is exploration, excitement, and freedom. So where it left off with your fantasy, you are now exploring what you came here for, but through the dream aspect. You are exploring your dreams. You're reverting back to your younger self and what your younger self was thinking, or this is what you could do. Think back as far as you can think. One of your first things, what did you ever want? Because that's more aligned with what you came here for. Even though it might be like immature, like the words were immature back then. But now you can define it properly. Like, what did I want when I was younger? Oh yeah, I remember going to this theme park and going on that roller coaster. I wanted to make roller coasters. Like, you never know what it was, but you gotta sit there and think about it. You gotta observe what's happening around you, and as you have more time to think, you're gonna get more time to think. You're gonna notice like events and things like that being canceled around you. You're gonna notice people flaking on you, but with like honesty and truth, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you don't even want to be in the way anyway. It's like, wow, everything aligned for me to think. Just sit, observe, and think, and watch and see everything that's happening. See the shift, see the changes. Sit down, sit right there. God put you through so much. Why you need to work so hard now? You've done the work to learn the lesson, so reap the benefits. Alright, so the Five of Wands is on suit, and it's already done, but let's look at it. So competition, conflict, and rivalry. Now, instead of jealousy coming up, rivalry is here now. Now it's a respect. Okay. Instead of being jealous of what the other person went through to get what they got now, and they're flaunting it around, but they're not flaunting it. They earned it. They it's theirs. They earned it, right? You can earn something too. Now, when it comes up to rivalry, you have the correct equipment to battle and to maybe don't think of it as so much battling. You use your rivals to get better. Somebody that's just as good as you is somebody that you can practice with. Somebody you can say, okay, this person is, if it's fighting, right? If you're a boxer, you're not gonna go practice against Mike Tyson. You know, right? You're not gonna do that. You're gonna go against Joe Schmo because he's your same height, and you be like, okay, cool. We got the same reach. You got the same everything, right? This is more feasible for me to learn with. Let's see what I can do at this level. Acknowledging where you are and learning and going for where you are. It's so much power in that because it's your natural energy and it's emanating out of yourself. So when you're in your role, when you're in your right path, if this person that you are jealous of has a bulldozer, you are fine with your shovel, and it has the same effect because they're in their lane, and you're in your lane, doing the same amount of work, doing the same thing for yourself. It's crazy. It just looks different. Different plays, different scenes, different people, different lessons that they needed to learn. They didn't need to learn your lessons when they came here. These lessons are for you. So, this is your solar plexus in the place of I act. So, I kind of just went over that. Moving on, we have the Hangman, which is in your sacral chakra, right? Or the place of I feel. Now, how are you feeling throughout all of this? Your feelings get you the energy to desire. And your heart shows you what to desire, right? And when you do that, you get to manifest physically to use it. And when you have what you needed, right? I hope this is making sense. When you have what you need, you become more safe, more secure, more everything. I am safe, I am secure, I am funded, I am fed, I am all of this stuff, right? You manifested that because I forgot why I said that, but let's move on. Yeah, you manifested that. The Hangman. Okay, yeah. Sacrifice, release, and martyrdom. See, a martyr is dead. A martyr is dead. So the old you is dead. The old fantasy is dead. But the fantasy had a reason. You went after that because you believed something. You believed that it was for you, even though you could have been tricked. You believed it. Now, what was it about that belief? What did you see? What were the indicators? And that's what you need to pay attention to. That's what's coming out right now. There were things that you seen that were red flags that you were willing to go past because, you know, God leads us to people, and let's just say you didn't want to acknowledge the red flags because you didn't want to relinquish the opportunity with that person. This is about people. This is about people. I'm pretty sure it's about people because Virgo is of the mind, I said Libra, I don't know why, because that's justice. Virgo is of the mind, right? Well, Virgo is Earth, so it explains why so much the Page of Pentacles came up over here. Who you are naturally kind of conflicted with yourself, so you have to understand how to manage your reactions, your responses, and things like that, or the way you cope with things. You sometimes you have to use skill instead of your nature. But yeah, as I said before, the martyr is the old you that believed. And now that that old you is being, transitioned, or the old you is new now, and you're learning what your dream is instead of learning what you can fantasize about. That's so easy. The world advertised to you many and many times of what you think you could have, what you think you deserve, owed, the opportunities that you will miss because of the positions that you are in right now. It's jealousy. It just leaves you jealous to go after what people have and what you, instead of what you can create, you go after what people have. So, yeah. It's kind of self-explanatory. But yeah. Moving on from there, we have the Four of Cups, and this is offsuit, right? This is in the place of the root chakra, which is the I am. And I've mentioned this a lot, so let's see how this turns out. Okay. 9 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So 4 and 9, 13. The Sun. That's crazy, because 13 is the number of Christ consciousness, and the Son of God. Crazy. That just popped out. And I was talking about the demiurge, all this talk. Yeah. So the Sun came out to dry up these emotions. Now, you cannot build on mud. So water and earth, that would make mud. It would make unstable land. It would make land that you can't use. And this is foundational energy. So the foundation was out of whack. But the sun, the guidance from the sun, the heat energy from the sun, dried up that land, and now you can actually use it. But the thing is, water does bring, I'm about to say impurities. So I don't know what it is, tainted water. Hopefully not. But water does bring elements to the table, and these elements help grow. Let's just say if you wanted to plant something, you bring more vitamins to the ground if you water it, right? It's the same idea, but it works different. Yeah, but you understand where that came from. Okay. The Devil is an Earth card, so that completes this run. So everything is complete right now. Let's just get what this run means right now. So we started off with the Four Cups. Apathy, contemplation, and disconnectedness. Naturally. But the Four of Cups is indicating that there's something that God has for you that's emotional also. But it's more like the thing that you can go for that won't leave you down in the dirt. It won't leave you crying in your bed. That's what's for you. It's getting you to understand the foundation of things. 3 strikes and you're out. Now you sitting there, but you have another go at it. You have another at bat. You can knock it out of the park this time, and you ready to do it. All right. So the Sun. Well, then it went off to the Sun. So you went from feeling that way to joy, success, collaboration, and positivity. Now, just the energy of being positive dries the land so you can use it. Just the energy of being positive. Fake it till you make it. that kind of energy. I am positive right now. I am great. I have everything I need. Gratefulness. That energy right there will set the stage for something new. That's like a sound mind is the key. So let's look at it. Or I should say positivity is the key. But it ended off with the devil. Now, the devil is obviously a card that not a lot of people like to see. But it's in the right position. So that means that this role is being played perfectly. It needs to be here, and it's rightful here. It's right here. It doesn't harm anything here. So, materialism, addiction, and playfulness. I remember I talked about addiction before. But playfulness is another thing. Playfulness is an experimentation. You even have to experiment with a game before you play it, right? You have to experiment. Oh, this game is probably not for me, but now you play it all the time. You have to learn it. You have to be willing to learn it. So something as easy as buying a game on a system and learning how to play a game is something that you can do for your life. So how does that equate, right? And funny thing is that this is the area of experimentation. So the next part of the reading, now that we got this handle, now that we got the flow going back, we understand what the mind, body, spirit, and soul had to do with why you're here and what's going on. We understand that. But going on forward with it, what can you do? And that's this next part. It's called the star stream, but it's the aura of Ein Sof 4. So let's get it. It's the end of the aura. It's the stream. So instead of an aura, it's not focused energy. It's a stream of light. And you know what you can do with a laser. So this is that stream. First you have experimentation on the root. Then you have expression on the sacral. Integration on the solar plexus. And then transcendence on the heart chakra. Now what does that mean? You experiment with what you manifest, right? The ideas that you came up, now it's something to use. Then you experiment with it. So understand when this comes into play. After the stage is set, after you have what you need, at least in a thought, like if this happened, a if scenario. Now that you have that scenario in your mind, what can you do with it? So let's see. We're gonna complete this with the oracle cards again. So let's just get it for you. Okay, that was quick. Knowledge. You have to experiment with what you know. So this is the knowledge. Well, this is the knowledge perspective, and it's the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords and the knowledge has something to do with each other. Ooh. Karmic path is also the fated path, but it's just which direction according to your choices that you're going. So if you chose to slack off, if you chose to do some of the things that you knew would lead you to not being in good health or not being in the place that you want to be, what can you do now? The karmic path indicates that it doesn't matter which way you go about it, you're going to get what's owed to you and eventually come back around to go. No, you're gonna get the karma, the lessons, I should say. Let me move on because we're gonna read it. Good fortune. Alright. This is in the place of integration. And good fortune is here. Also the Wheel of Fortune is here. And the Wheel of Fortune came out again somewhere. I forgot where. So the Wheel of Fortune came out over on Bina. Yeah. Both sides of you, the fantasy and the dream, know that you got fortune coming towards you. So, patience and, you know, positivity. Oh, there you go. Swift transcendence. Remember how I was saying that you only needed to shift perspectives? A lot of shifting went on. It wasn't a lot of work. But this is the only place that needed to work. So when you do the shifting, you'll understand what you find beautiful. So let's get some of these definitions real quick. Well, descriptions really quickly. And then that'll be the end of the reading. So let's just get that real quick. Experimentation, right? So the word, basically what you're going to ask yourself right now is, or what you're going to say to yourself is, what you're going to ponder is, I am going to experiment with remaining teachable. So if you had a problem with listening to authority, the right authority, the universal authority, the natural authority, right? If you have problems with that kind of authority, remain teachable. Try to be teachable. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to see another way to do things. Willingness to get you anywhere. There is new wisdom available to you at this time. This card can signify more information before proceeding. Naturally, you had to sit in the same position. And this is what you desired. But you didn't know that it comes from you, so you didn't have to go far. So now you don't have to move. You can't move. The swords, yeah, your mind has thought, I should say, you have judged everything that you know and determined what it could and could not do for you. You completed everything around you in your mind. So you have all the scenarios lined up. So now there's something new. Now it's the judgment. Now it's getting rid of it. Now it's replacing. Now it's shifting. So, yeah. It can also signify the presence of an important teacher. Or perhaps you are the teacher and it is time to share your knowledge, gifts, with the world around you. Drawing this card can also indicate that you are indicate a message from your Akashic records. Seek out more information about the records, or even perhaps learn how to access your own records more clearly regarding your query. Books are forever keepers of secrets, right? And the crown chakra, Ketha, is known to be the area for secrets. So your knowledge in books, what you write down, what you comprehend, what you manage, that's for you to find out how you're going to operate with these things. You have your own book of knowledge and you can rewrite it. It's not as hard as it seems, because you can start with little baby steps. You're already here with the bad things that you've been with your whole life. You know, you're already here with it. So it's a choice to move on from it or not. And you know which way you're going to do. You know which way you're going to go. Alright. So with expression, we have karmic path. So you need to express your karmic lessons, learning experience, hard work, perseverance, and structure. A new valuable lesson is available to you at this time. This moment requires your due diligence. Pay attention to what is being presented to you. Have you been down this road before? Dog going to his own vomit, right? Our souls come to this earth school to learn valuable lessons as beings for the planet. So, what are you being taught right now? This moment may require hard work, but it will have many long-lasting rewards. You are not being punished, but you are gaining tools, right? The tools that I was just mentioning, right? These are the tools that you can use them. You are not being punished, but are gaining tools and experience for living that will be with you for the rest of your life. Drawing this card also tells you that the foundation of what you are building is strong and is part of your legacy. Now, legacy is a strong dream word. Legacy is in the dream. It's not with the fantasy. Alright? Legacy, that's rooted in the dream. Because you fantasize to be here forever. But the dream is to have a long-lasting effect. and to have an impact on this earth, right? Well, some people's dream, my dream, right? Alright, so as far as how you act, we have integration. So what habits can you form? What new things can you do? You know, like the new game that you want to play, right? The new person that you want to see, the new relationship that you want to have. It goes in many perspectives, but yeah, let's get it. No matter what your query, the universe gives you its blessing. This is also a powerful time for manifesting. So ask now for what you want more in your life. It is granted. Acknowledge the blessings in your life and more will appear. So the fact that you are alive, see, I can't speak it. So the fact that you are alive is a blessing. You can hear my words right now. That's something to be grateful for. Not for me, no. For the fact that you can. I can, so I'm grateful. What can you do? Be grateful for that. And there's probably a gift in there. There's probably something that you have a niche for, a gift for, a talent for. You'll probably, no, not probably. You will run into it as you find better habits, I should say. So last but not least is shift. And let's look that up. Miracles, divine intervention, the end of stagnation, and divine inspiration are here now. Drawing this card signifies an aha moment, right? The epiphany. I love epiphanies. Epiphanies are like a deep download of a knowing, right? Not, it's a knowing. Like, oh, I know this now. Wow, somebody betrayed you, and then you had an epiphany on who that person is. You had an epiphany on how you got there. Oh, I chose this, and this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. You see the chain of events, and you write it down with your book of knowledge in your mind, right? You write it down, and you never go through it again, because now you know these things. I won't do this, because when I did that before, I realized I was taken advantage of. And that conversation continues in cycles and cycles until the cycles end. And then you're in your new path. You're in your place of fortune. Fortunate thing once you learn how to shift perspective. That aha moment or sudden change in any situation that was stuck or blocked. Right? A welcome change or answer you have been seeking is here now. Meditate on this symbol when you are feeling unstuck. Or when you are feeling stuck, unsure of which way to go, or having a block of creativity. I have a lot of typos in this. This is known as a dagza, but infinity symbol, right? It's a Norse rune. Norse. This rune is a symbol of fulfillment and achievement, symbolizing rebirth of the light in one's life. It is a rune of awakening of the new dawn and of the day rise. So you can see the new perspective. You can see it, but it's shifted. Let's just say you can only see it if you did a handstand. You can only see it upside down. So opposite what you're doing right now, or polar, as I like to say polar. So what you're doing right now has the answer. So you're doing things in the wrong positions. Alright. So we come to the end of the reading, and I really hope that you got what you needed. I really hope that you got a message that can carry. I really hope, because everything goes into our subconscious, but it's up to us to use this knowledge to our disposal. I'm going to be here for y'all, and I would appreciate it if you were here for me. So if you have time, like the video, share it with your favorite reader. And the reason why is because this board is for them. You just imagine your favorite reader doing this, how it would feel. Because I'm new to this, but I know the readers that I follow, I can't even wait. I'm geeked out just thinking about them using this. because I'm not gonna go into it, but there's so much information on this board. I could start a whole class. But after all that is said, I wish you the best. I'm KyFy. Peace.